What's going on, y'all? This is the most awkward intro I think I've ever had. I forgot to set up my light again. Get that flat, even lighting on my face. All right. So tonight we've got it's kind of weird, actually. Kind of all the same. All from the same client, though. He had these dead frames from Golden Axe 3, and they freaking keep breaking. This is crazy. You can see like on here, like these arms are gone. What a mess! What an absolute mess. This is crazy. What's up, Clayton? What's going on, man? Thank you for showing up. Um, then we've got two more over here that are not broken, but you can see that the joints are just so tight. So he wants me to make sure that they're not gonna break. And you can just feel it, like they bend up and down, but when you go to twist them, it's like no, I don't want to do that. So I'm probably just gonna have to pop these out, do a little light dremeling on these guys right here. But these fellas, these are what's gonna be the big one tonight. I'm still gonna have to. I think I'll still have to do their legs too, though. Yeah, definitely. Gosh, they're just like, they just want to break. They're so tight in here. It's ridiculous. What's up, my man Corey? Thanks for showing up. Look at all these look at all these bones. I have to fix all these bones. So what we're gonna start off by doing is heating these guys up, and then heat these up, and heat these up, and heat these up, and then probably heat these up and these up. My God, it's a lot. It's a hell of a lot. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the repairs on the actual brakes, and then we can go in, and I bet we can use a smaller Dremel bit to just, I don't know, drum around in these edges and knock those out. Let's see if we can't heat these up. I haven't checked the forearms or the wrists yet. I've seen this happen a lot on the regular skeletons, although I have one of the regular skeletons and he doesn't seem to break. The bones are the client's money. This job pays for itself because the bones are money. If you guys aren't, I think you should leave fans, then you should be. Alright, so I've heated this one up. Let's see if we can't get a grip on this ball joint here. Oh, it's really in there. Oh, there we go. Just kind of actually squeezed it out from the bottom there. Just kind of weird. The plastic is so thin. But, oh wow, I didn't expect the pegs to be that thin. I thought they would have been bigger. You can see these are brand new. They still even have like the styrofoam down in the chest area here. So, let's make sure that's on. Get that in focus here so you can see just how small these pieces are here. That's a pretty small piece. I mean, compared to, I don't know, figure that you might have. Here's Shang-Chi, just so you can see the size of those joints right there. And if we were to take out one of his wrist pegs, about the same size as a wrist peg. And keep in mind, this is a shoulder joint, so it's very thin, seeing that it is a skeleton. Makes sense. But, jeez, I can't believe they break so easily. You gotta be really careful when you're heating up this really thin plastic, too. There's loose little pieces of bone on here, and a lot of heat can warp this plastic. But it doesn't look like it takes a whole lot because, like I said, it is very thin. So we're gonna go ahead and see how hard this is to pry out here. It's coming out. See how big this peg is here. I keep these separated so I know which piece fits what. Looks like they're exactly the same size. This might be a little shorter, I can't tell. We'll see. Oh my god, I almost dropped my heat gun. That would have sucked. Alright. I'm gonna heat this up. Try to stick to the back a little bit more, because if you stay to the front here, I can show you. You see kind of right here. See this bone? It's very very wiggly right now because we just heated her up. And yeah, you gotta be very careful because you can just squish this guy. You also want to be real careful trying to pry these out, because you don't want it to go flying and then it end up somewhere in your room. You got to remake that joint, and then you also don't want to press too hard on these guys because, golly, they're really crazy thin. What I think though, what we could do with the legs here is, I'm almost positive we could take a small flathead screwdriver. And there is a gap kind of under the pelvic area here, and it looks like it's just in a solid plastic piece. And I bet you anything these will pop out. Let's see, maybe we should go in from the top. That way, because like I said, there's a gap right here. Let's see if you can see that. Right here, there's a gap. Instead of it being completely around. So there's a little hard plastic housing in there. And let's see if we can't... I don't know. It's pretty snug. That's probably why it won't move. A lot of times you can go in from this gap area, but I don't know. We'll see what happens here. There she goes. Okay, so that does work. So if you're careful about it, you go into this gap area directly on the bottom, put your tiny flathead screwdriver under the joint and carefully pry up, you'll start to see it go. So what we're going to do with that is we'll take a joint about, or excuse me, oh my god, a burr bit. Jeez. Bill's burrs. Let's see what size. Because if it's one of these bigger ones, this would be really, really cool. It might be a little too big. Yeah, it's like, it fits a little too perfect. And while you'd think that would be good, I think that would just make it too loose. So we'll go with the, I would call it the medium one that I have. It's this size here. It's about let's see, about an 1/8 of an inch, 1/10 of an inch. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1/8. Yeah, so it's about an 1/8 of an inch. And I think this is what we'll need to just kind of Dremel this around in here. In fact, we could try that right now. We'll leave this pink one on. So I got all my different Dremels set up here. I tried to be ready to go, but I wasn't thinking about the this job here with the hip loosening. You know what I'm talking about? Let's start it on a lower speed, and let's test it on this guy right here. So I'm just gonna kind of go on a little bit. The cool thing is we can pop it in and we can try it again. Really what we want is for it to be able to rotate around, because we could see it goes up and down, and then it wasn't rotating. Oh, Soul Brother, Samurai Chris, what's up, guys? Thank y'all for being here, man. It's always good to see y'all. I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Let's see if I can't pop this guy back in, which I imagine this will be easier. Okay, so hopefully this should lift up. It's doing it, but ugh, it feels like it's got like a loose spot in there. Look at that, whenever you lift it completely up, there's like, I don't think I'm happy with that. I was really hoping that, like, so what we might have to do on this is Dremel out just a little bit more, and then we might have to coat this with a little bit of super glue, and then bring it inside and kind of twist it around. Maybe twist it around a little bit and then pop it out and let that dry. Sometimes you can put it in and twist it around, and while the super glue is drying. With these, I don't know if I'd trust it just because of all the breakage that we've already got here. So I'd rather pop something like that in and let the stuff dry. So like I said, what I'll do, and I'll do it probably in one run. The issue that I'm seeing here though is that the joint is uneven. Oh, that might be the issue here. The joint itself, I gotta take a photo of this. It looks like the peg that's inside of here, I wonder if I can show, I wonder if you can see it. So it's this guy right here. And what we're looking at, it's probably not gonna pick up as well as I'd want it to. This side right here is like just slightly lower. This is a half connected to this half, and it looks like this half right here is just slightly off. I doubt it's going to show up due to the shadow and whatnot on there, but I can definitely see it right now in person. And I think that could be the issue. And the reason I say that is because when we twisted it like 3 different ways, it was perfectly fine, and then we twisted it like the 4th way, and it popped out. And this happens often. If you're trying to like make your own joints or whatnot and you don't get it perfectly round, which is kind of hard to do, seeing that we're not robots. Oh yeah, this is definitely, looks like actually this side might actually be higher. So take what I said and reverse it. This side is actually higher than this side. Cool. We'll have to sit. Oh boy. This is gonna be a fun one. Okay, so what we might have to do here is take a sanding bit and kind of just even it out a little bit. And we're still gonna have to do that glue trick that I talked about though, because I think when we dremeled out anything in there, it could be warped as well inside due to this being so funky shaped, and it's just been sitting in there for the longest time. But that's also, like I said, why it makes sense for it to be able to go up and down, and then when you turned it to the side, it got stuck. And then once we dremeled some out, we got that little bit of room left. Made some room in there, but unfortunately, since it's kind of oblong, that should do it right there. I don't think we'll need a lot. I just want to see if I can put it in and it'll go all the way around here. See what happens. Okay, so it goes in well. It's still tight going backwards, but if you go forward, look. It goes forward a little easier right there. There's one, look at this one little spot right here. Yeah, it's hella loose right there. Yeah, so I shouldn't just be able to pull that out and it come out like that. However, I can, if I hold on to it and twist it all the way around, that'll work. So what we'll do is this. You can either use JB Super Weld, or you can use Loctite super glue. I like the gel stuff personally. I think we might try the gel today. Let's see what happens. So what we're gonna do is we'll put a little bit of glue here, just like this, and kind of go all the way around. See here, just like that. And so that coats the outside. Let's see if we got this. And what we'll do is this. We'll pop it in real fast, give it a spin, spin back, quickly pop it out. You don't want to leave that in there too long. And we're going to let that sit for a bit, let that dry. But while we're doing that, we can work on these tiny little joints here. Let's see if we can't get that focused in for you guys. There we go. All right, so here we go. First step on these is we got to drill the holes. Take ourselves pliers. A lot of times, as you guys know, I like to use these pliers here. And I'm gonna catch these. If we can get it to the side, it'd be great. You can see, let's see if I can show it to you. There you go. You can see right here on this side, it's a little bit, well, due to the lighting, maybe you can't. There you go. You see it's like white kind of right in here. And that's where it broke off. That's the only half of this that was connected due to this style of joint. And you can see here where it broke off right there. And so what happens is that half connects here so we can do a hinge. And I can show you what I usually do with these is I'll take these guys right here, these clippers, and make sure they're in the scene here. And we'll go on this side that broke. You want to make sure that you're right on the seam. Make sure I'm in frame here. If you cut anywhere else or try to squeeze anywhere else, it could potentially warp the joint. And you can kind of get a good grip and kind of move it around if you want, just a little bit, but usually, let's see here, usually they'll just give. Sometimes you kind of, dude, I think my arm hair caught that joint. Pays to be a beast. All right, cool. Right on. There we go. So just that little small clip, and I kind of had to work my way around it a little bit with these end clippers, but we got this off. So now what we have to do here is we're gonna have to screw tiny holes all the way through here and then through here, and that's gonna be the fun part. These are definitely gonna be a lot more work, I guess, than I anticipated. I fixed a few Storm Collectibles, you know, before, and but I've never seen them with quite this much of a issue. The hips are what threw me off. It's these pegs are. Let's see. I think. Let me see. I'm trying to feel if this glue's dried. I think it already has. I didn't put a whole lot on there. You always want to be careful. You want to make sure it's, you know, not. Because we want this to be a snug turn, but we also want it to be a smooth turn. And that's, so far, this is already better. Okay. So it's just going to be more work than I anticipated, but let's see. Cool. Yeah, and what I don't want is to be able to twist it and it pop out. So that's a problem for me. But I think once we get the glue in here and situated, it's not going to pop out because it's going to make it larger and whatnot. So what we can do is just what we did a second ago. we're gonna repeat the process. So we're gonna add another deal, and this I'm loving the way the Ultra Gel control is working right now. So I think we're gonna stick with this. Like I said, you just get a nice even coating around the ball peg. And then we're gonna go ahead and take this one more time. We're gonna pop it into the socket, twist it just a little bit, all the way around, pop it back out, and then let both of them dry. So that'll work. Hey, Marco, what's up, man? I'm glad you showed up. Julian, MCT, dang, everybody's here tonight. This is awesome. Very cool. I'm glad you were able to make it, man. Yeah, we're gonna try to fix these boneheads here. And so next, what we're gonna do, this is always the part that this is the part I've been trying to teach people for a while now, and it's hit or miss a lot of times, literally, because you kind of have one shot in order to do this. So here's what we got to do. We're gonna take this joint here, or excuse me, this peg from the joint, and what I usually will try to do is try to stay kind of to the side a little bit whenever I drill down, but you technically can drill this thing in the middle. I know it's meant to be on the side. It might offset the joint a little bit, but not that much. It's really not enough to notice. And you're going to get a firm hold. I prefer, to do it, put it back on exactly how it broke off in the same spot. But sometimes it's better to, just make sure that it's going to be a proper hold. But let's see what we can do here. This looks like a pretty, I want to say I've got enough groundwork. I'm going to see if I can't zoom in and do this, but I always end up like drifting from the camera. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, because I have to look over like this. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see if I can keep that in. Okay, so you can see right there where we drilled, and you can see it's slightly off-centered off to the right here. Just barely off-centered to the right. That's what I want. That's always what I want. Now, I will have to go in with a bigger drill bit, so you have to be careful that you don't go in with a bigger drill bit and it push off to the side and it rip out the side. Let's see how we did on this side. See if it went all the way through the way we wanted it to. Where'd it go? It was just... Okay. Dude, is this it? The heck? How do I lose it live, literally on the table? This is my life, y'all. What the... No! The camera's blurry. I can't... I didn't even move it back, like, toward the end. Oh, I swear. Alright, we need to put some separation on the table here, because that's not going to be fun. I swear I'm a mess. Set you over here. Here's your other leg. Here's this for this arm. I literally had it. This is some... Oh, there it is. Golly. I hate it when that happens. Okay. Jeez. I'm going to lightly grip this. It's too light. Let's see if it went out. Okay. I don't know if you can see this or not. So there's our off to the side there. We can see we still have a little bit of plastic. That's the exit. Here's our entrance. So that's good. So yeah. Good. I like that. We were able to lose that literally on the table. I'm like doing my best to watch this thing over the table. I hate it. I hate losing. God, I hate losing these things. There's nothing worse. I cannot tell you how much time I've spent, and you guys have seen me drop something and spend forever, and I mean forever, it feels like, looking for it. Especially when we're live. We've got limited time here, man. You know what I mean? Because these days, I feel bad because I didn't realize, I wasn't thinking about it, but Dave Wonder, he's on, from 9 to I guess 11 on Mondays. I'm not sure. It could be 9 to 10, but he starts at 9. And some nights I go way over on 9 o'clock, so I don't like to step on anybody's toes. Um, I know there's a lot of us streaming, but I respect Dave. I really like him a lot. And, so I try to get off of here by 9 now. So I'm going to go back in. Sorry, let me see if I can't. I'll just zoom. I'll give you guys a wider zoom here so you don't miss anything, but here's another thing you got to be really, really careful about is breaking drill bits. You guys have seen me do that probably 1,000 times as well, because it can snag the hole that you've already drilled. You can really mess something up that way. So what I'm doing right now is I'm drilling into the hole that I've already made, and I'm pushing towards the side that has more plastic. So whenever I put the thicker drill bit in, that it's not gonna cut into the side here. So I'm trying to see if I can just make this hole a little bit bigger, but try to push it towards this side here that has more plastic real estate, so we don't, end up accidentally cutting it. I hope that makes sense. We're making the hole larger while getting it away from the edge of the, of the peg. Because as you can see, here's the screw we're going to use right here. Okay. Just checking the chat here real quick. Samurai Chris is broke out of the box too. Well, Chris, if only you knew somebody that could fix those for you. And look how easy the fix is. God. Okay, so here's why we have to drill a bigger hole. Is right now, you can get the tip of this screw in, but that's because it's got a sharp end on it. And what starts to happen is when you start drilling this in, it's going to split the plastic right down the side here. Because this plastic will snap. And the hole that we drilled isn't big enough. And the reason why I started with a smaller drill bit is because that's the process I like. I don't really care if the job's going to take longer. I want it to work the first time, if we can do that, if you know what I mean. So I'd rather drill a small hole to act as a guide, and then we can go back in with a larger drill bit, which is another reason why sometimes drilling in the middle isn't a bad idea, because it gives you all of that area. And like I said, it's not going to be that far off. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can't drill in with this bigger drill bit. Try to be careful here so it doesn't snap. Ooh, that was close. I try not to. Sometimes where you don't pay attention and your grip loosens. We got it, and we got it. It worked, but I also like to go in through both sides on this, just to make sure that any excess plastic has been removed. And you still see there's a little bit of resistance there. So with that done, that means we have to do that drilling that we just did 3 more times after this. And then we have to drill holes also in this guy. Now this guy right here, I don't think I'm going to use 2 drill bits. In fact, the next time around, I'll probably just use this one. I do like to use a guide at least on the first round, just because I know what I'm doing. It allows me to know what I'm doing and what I'm working with, and the amount of room I have. So we're going to go ahead and... Actually, what I'm going to do is see if this is fitting. We'll see if the screw fits real quick. Oh my gosh, I keep... Dude, freaking butterfingers right now. These pieces and stuff are so easy to drop, I swear. And then they bounce and then... Bye. Okay. Let's see... So I've got a good grip, and this is kind of a trick you can do too, is you can you can grip it with these pliers that I've got this little notch here in the center that kind of makes a oval shape, and it'll allow you to have a good grip on your peg while also kind of keeping it compact, so whenever you do screw into it, it lessens the likelihood of it splitting. And as you can see, the screw is all the way in, and this is making me really happy, the fact that it went all the way in. We haven't even straightened it yet, and I don't think we're going to need to straighten it, which is really cool. So it should just go right in here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll take a quick photo here. I would say I'm taking a photo for my client, but my man Marco's in here, which is really cool. But I still like taking photos of all the work and showing it off online so people can get a better idea for those of you that, or for those that don't watch the lives. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill in. So this is where we want to go in. We're going to have to go off a little bit to the side, just a little bit, just because... if you were to try to drill in on, I don't know, you have to be crazy accurate with these things, so I just want you to be careful if you're going in for it. Like I said, I usually tend to use a guide, like a smaller drill bit, just so you can see. So this is our our other half, and we're going to be going in where this is where it attached right here originally, this white spot. We're going to have to come in around here. So as long as one of these is centered, if you do both of them centered, then you might have a little bit of a problem. So if you do one centered and one kind of off, I think you can probably make that work. So we'll zoom out a little bit. Let's see what we can do. I'm just going to use the regular drill bit here. For those of you who want to know, this is a 0.9 millimeter. The one from before should be a 0.8. Yeah, the pink one was a 0.8. This green one right here is or yellowish green is a 0.9 millimeter. So we're going to go ahead and go in. Make sure you're going directly into the spot that broke, a little off to the side. And you're going to go all the way through this piece right here and down into the hole that's right here. But you don't have to go all the way through it. There's no point in going all the way through it because the screw, first off, the screw does not need to exit the plastic right here. If it does, if it exits this plastic right here, then you're just literally, so here's our joint from before. This is the original other half, right? This is with the peg. So you plug this in here. If you were to screw a screw into here and it went past into the center, what that's doing is putting a screw into this peg right here, and it's not going to allow it to turn. Basically, you're locking it, and you're going to waste all this time trying to fix this thing and end up just breaking it worse. So now that we've got the hole drilled here, if you want to see it, there you go. There's your hole. Pretty good. I'm very happy actually with that. So let's see if we can't put this in. And I'm doing it while I've already got the peg on here. I haven't done anything with any super glue yet on this pegs because we don't want to, I just want to test it out first before we go adding super glue. I'm extremely happy with this repair. this one's good. Now, if we can do it 4 more times tonight, that would be great. But yeah, so the only issue that I've got right now is that there's a little bit cut off or a little bit coming out, and that's okay. The hold feels really, really good. Um, so what we can actually do with that is we can take our end clippers. We could either take our end clippers and we could clip off the very, very tip here, which this is actually going to give us like a flat grip, like a flat end basically, which actually is a little better because then we don't have a like a sharp piece sticking out. And since we've already gone all the way through with the screw, we know that it fits. So all we have to do is get this to where it's going to fit in there. And what we could do, instead of using end clippers, we would have way more control if we were to use a sanding bit. And I wouldn't suggest holding this because metal and steel are conductors. And if this heats up too much and you're holding this, it will burn your fingers. It does not care. So what you want to do is we're going to drill just a little bit off of here. Just enough to where we get down to this, like one of these, probably the first or second threading, like the little ends of the threading here. Okay, it's looking pretty good. So, let's see. And we didn't stay on it too long to really conduct enough heat. So, oh my goodness, Marco, thank you. That's really kind of you. You shouldn't spend your money in here, though. Don't spend your money on YouTube. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Very generous. Look at this. Look at this. I've never seen this before. There's like a dancing fox. Marco threw $50 in and just was like, here you go, man. That's amazing. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. That's really, really cool. But you do not need to spend your money here. YouTube takes a lot of it, just so you know. But very, very, very appreciative of that. That's really cool. Thanks. That's really fun. I like that. Thank you. Look at this. So we shaved off this flat bit, and yeah, this is coming together really well. This is good. So what we're gonna do is we're going to back up the tracks here, unscrew this, and then we're going to find our pliers. We're going to back out like so, back out like so. Okay. And so we actually have to back this out a little further than I would want to. So now we're going to swap over to the JB Super Weld. Marco, thank you so much. That is incredibly generous of you. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I'm sorry, but I would have never known. You know, it's funny. Whenever, and the crew will remember this, when I first started this whole thing, we were like, oh man, we're gonna get to where I can get super chats and that'll be cool, and do all the support and stuff like that. And then it was like, find out like they take almost all of it from you, which it's not about the money for me, but it's like, man, if somebody's trying to support me and they're just giving it to another company, it really sucks. Like, I don't know, man, that's kind of shitty on YouTube's end. But with that said, I do really appreciate it. And I am working on Patreon ideas currently. I think there's some potential for, I was thinking about maybe doing like, and I think I brought this up last time, but like one-on-one repairs with people. If somebody wants to like a tutorial, I could walk them through a tutorial. Like we sit down and we kind of do it together. And I think that would be really cool. And or just just all sorts of stuff. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys honestly think would be fun, because I know there's a lot of people that actually want to support what I do, and I think first off, it's incredibly humbling, but it's amazing, and I think it's going to be a fun thing. There's some cool collaborative ideas in the mix, and then there's some solo stuff I'm wanting to do. So it's just going to be it's a work in progress. It's one of those things where, like I said, if it was about the money, then you guys, I think you would have known by now. Hopefully it doesn't ever feel like I'm like that. That's one thing I've strived to not be like, but it's nice to get paid. I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird that they give you the options for that, but I've never seen the dancing fox with the fireworks, so I'm not gonna lie, that is amazing. I love it so much. But just in case any of you guys are trying to get on YouTube to get rich, you're getting crazy with that stuff. But Patreon apparently is really good. I'm excited to try it out. So we have sanded off the end here, and I have added my JB Super Weld, and we have reinserted the screw. So now we're going to add glue here, and I give kind of a healthy little bit on there. So whenever I do start to insert the screw in here, it's going to kind of squish out a little bit, and it's going to make sure that not only does it make contact with this plastic here, with the screw in the plastic, but it's also going to make contact with the plastic on plastic, if that makes sense. We want to make sure that that does that. I want it to connect at a different spot. Sorry, I'm probably drifting right now. I'm trying to make sure I don't mess this one up. There we go. Trying to make sure that it's on the right side whenever it makes the full connection. That's what we wanted right there. And it looks like it's still trying to come out just a little bit, which is okay. I'd rather it have a tighter fit right now. So what you do in this case, if you run into a situation where the screw goes in just a little too far, because I did not sand off that much. You just don't have I mean, these are tough repairs. Keep in mind, look how small this is, okay? This right here, these little squares are 1/4 of an inch. All right? And so we're dealing with, this little peg is about 1/8 of an inch. This circle is a good 1/4 of an inch lengthwise here. So we do not, so keep that in mind, that whatever's inside of here is that probably about 1/10 of an inch. That's about how much room we have to work with, is 1/10 of an inch. So what I have to combat this issue is a drill bit that I'm trying to find, and I can't, so I'm just gonna keep talking. No, it's a cone-shaped sanding bit. Here we go. I think it's got a diamond head on it. I think that's what they call it. It's nothing fancy. It doesn't cost like anything really expensive. But you'll see here, it's like a cone. It looks like it's like a spear, basically. Now this is a thinner drill bit, so we want to take our piece right here. This attachment right here is really cool, and you can see how it's got these kind of teeth in it. See how the more you tighten it, the smaller it gets. So it can actually, yo, Loco Lou, what's up? I love that. He said hit that like button. Yeah, a lot of people forget to do that. And I'm not the guy that's like, in my videos, you'll see them a lot of times. I haven't done it. I know, guys, I haven't done a tutorial in like months. Yeah, people forget to hit the like button, and even like I try to make it a point when I'm watching a video like on my TV on YouTube or on here, like it first, just because I guess it does help. I don't really know, man. Like I said, I'm not a big YouTuber, so I don't know. So we're gonna go ahead and sand this. again, what I was getting at is this is a sanding bit that's kind of a cone shape. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to first grip this with pliers so we don't burn ourselves, just in case. But we're going to sand this, just this little piece right here. And I'll see how close I can get to show you guys what I'm doing, but it's going to be kind of hard, I think, because let's see if you can see it. I'll try to hold it as still as I can in the shot. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here, this cone shape, and what that does is it makes sure I'm not going to hit anything else. And if I do, at least it's angled at the proper angle, right? So we're going to just kind of go in like so. Make sure I'm in shot here. And be really careful too. You want to make sure that you're on the screw and not the plastic. And that's the beautiful thing about these little eye hooks is they can be sanded fairly easy. Problem that'll happen a lot is while you're sanding, you'll be sanding and it'll catch the metal and then it'll go off to the side and it almost hooks. So you can see how it's catching, and then it'll stick right here in this little nook, and you'll end up sanding that plastic, and that's what you don't want. So sorry guys, I'm gonna see if I can't. I'm trying to do this for the camera, but yeah, for me, the entertainment value is not worth more than the repair. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to do this a little closer. But you get the point. Need like an over-the-shoulder camera. This has turned into a very good repair. It's just a very long repair. You guys can see. All right, so I think that's pretty good. We sanded it down fairly well. And now we're going to see if we can't, well, put it back together. So we're going to take this here. Let's get it in focus. There we go. And so what should happen here is we should be able to just clamp this shut. Sometimes you can even do it with your fingers. It's pretty good. See if it'll twist. Let's see if it'll twist for us. It's nice and snug. Yeah, it's good. A lot of times though, after you've clipped it, sometimes you can see a small gap, like right here. To me, it doesn't bother me that much because usually these are hidden really well, and as long as it's not popping out while you're, moving it, you should be fine. I mean, you got to keep in mind that whenever you do, you're doing a repair. When it comes down to it, sometimes they're not perfect looking, but a lot of times it's way better than what you had. Okay, so now we're going to take this, since I'm pretty happy with that. Forgot to take photos of that, but oh well. I'm sure we have plenty of other chances, seeing that there's like 4 more of these, or 3 more of these to do. Where is our plastic bag? Let's see. There we go. So we want to grip it here where the metal meets the plastic, right on the end. I'm going to put it in our plastic bag, close it around it. 1, 2, 3. This piece is out. We don't need it. And now we've got just a little bit of a hook piece. There's still a little bit of piece here that of screw that sticks out. And so what you want to do, we're going to go back to our sanding bit. I'm so thankful, man. Thank you to High School Creations. If you ever watch these videos, if you guys aren't following High School Creations, please do so. He actually sent me a Dremel, one of these styluses, and it's just amazing. I have 3, which is, I know, in excess, but at this point where I am doing these lives, it saves me a lot of time not having to switch out drill bits all the time. So should just be a small little sanding deal here, just to kind of get rid of this little screw bit here. We don't want any extra going up into the arm or anything like that. I believe these actually came off of the shoulders. So what we might want to do as well is kind of go in, give it a small sanding. And I say that because originally these got stuck in there and they broke off. So sometimes what happens is we have to kind of rebuild these from the ground up, just to get them to work right, you know, and that kind of sucks. But all right, so that's one. And that took about an hour. It took about an hour-ish, maybe about 45 minutes. So if you're fixing 2 of these, you're looking at maybe about an hour and a half if you really sit down and focus and everything goes right. That was pretty good. Julian is throwing out a joke right now that says, what do you call 2 guys who love math? Algebros. Algebros. 2 guys who love math. Just so y'all know, this Sunday is Father's Day, I believe. So there's a dad joke for you. Thank you, Julian. Don't ever change, Jules. Oh, Julian, you're ridiculous. Hey, what's up, Enrique G? I'm sorry. I don't know how long you've been in here, but hello. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, man. Loco is right. The tools that help us keep the figures we love. Thank you, Bill, for the love of collecting. That's really cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate you being here. I love whenever I see positive people hop in. That's always fun. It always makes me very happy. That's why I love the Crewmaru crowd so much. You guys are always so cool and so positive, and I love that. HSC is a dirty, dirty thief. He obviously stole some PIM particles. Man, let me tell you, dude. High school, look at this. So he sent me this as well, and I just got to show off some of his work. Let's see if I think I got some nasty on the bottom there. Look at this freaking awesome, like, look at this. This amazing dumpster. The trash bags. Look at like the detail on that rust right there. And that's just paint. He built this and he sent me a dumpster. Got like cool little dumpster. Like, he didn't even like, what kind of throws me off is that he didn't even like put his logo or anything on here. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the perfect opportunity for him to do that, and yet he doesn't. Like, I think he should put it on everything. I think he should always have like a sticker of High School Creations, a small one. Like, I would totally buy that. I'd want that just because it's like symbolized like his work. It's a fun little piece. Even if you put it on the back somewhere, man, where nobody's gonna even see it. Although I'd rather sport it, because who doesn't see stickers on dumpsters all the time? It's a perfect, or even like, because he made it look so real with the waste management and real life stuff. Slap a sticker on there, man. I think it'd be awesome. But anyways, huge props to him. He did send me some stickers, but they're too big to put on there. But I'll go put them. I would say I'll go put them on a real dumpster, but I don't want to lose the stickers because I like them. Let's see where we are with this this leg. See if this leg's good right now, and then we can move on to another arm. Okay, so here's our leg from before that we added. We've gone through 2 sessions now with the super glue. So let's see if we can pop this guy in and see if it'll work. That was a very satisfying pop. I don't know if y'all heard that, but it was very, very satisfying. Okay, so what we want this to do is to turn all the way around. Feeling pretty good. Feeling very good. Okay, there's not a loose spot on here. I'm pretty sure though, if I was to pull on this and twist, it might still pop out, but I think right now where it's at, it's not just gonna fall out on you. You know, like we were doing a minute ago. Let's see. Okay, it will pop out right there, but you take some pressure. I'm very happy with this. You've got a nice, I mean, watch, I bet we can stand him up on 1 foot. How much you want to bet? That's 1 foot. I don't know if you guys can see that. Boom. So yeah, this guy's, he's doing good. I did notice that there is a loose, oh man, his spine right here has got like a, I don't understand how it's doing that. There's like a loose, somehow a loose spot in the, oh gosh, this is, it's a lot of work. It sucks. It sucks that they're built like this. You know what I mean? Like, gosh, like I know right there how to fix that, and that's cool. But it sucks that there's so much wrong with this guy. Golly, man. I'm sorry this happened to you. This sucks. So this originally was inside of here. What I want to do is we're actually going to take a smaller burr bit. Yep. We're just going to keep using them. Gosh. I needed to have like a little stand for I need to get my buddy Anthony to 3D print me a little stand for all my Dremel bits. That'd be really cool. I'm gonna have to hit him up about that. So there's a very tiny burr bit that we can use, which is this guy. This one here. Now what we used earlier was this one. This one's a little bit bigger and this one's smaller. Once again, we're going to have to use our adapter because it is a smaller drill bit, or burr bit, excuse me. Dremel bit, whatever you want to call it. And what I want to do is I'm actually going to drill down into this arm a little bit just to kind of loosen it up a little bit because it was really tight. And so you don't need to do a whole lot, but there's something that's like throwing everything off, right? We can do that, and then we can go into this arm. Because this arm's really going to be where the problem was. And it looks like it's like kind of warped. Kind of oblong a little bit. And that could have been the problem. I'm going to go ahead and go into this one too. Because I was doing the same thing. Okay. And while we got it, might as well do this other arm. And I'm just kind of going in at a very low speed here, just kind of, it's the lightest of shavings. And yeah, even the lightest of shaves can still do a lot. So if it does way too much, then, you know, you can always add a little bit of super glue and whatnot. But Liquid Momentum says, bingo bango, 1 footer. That's awesome. I don't know. It's hilarious. What the fuck? Okay. Southtown Paint App says, love your channel, bro. Have you ever made a vid on how to repair a Marvel Legend neck joint where the ball comes off and gets stuck inside a head cast? I don't know. Not necessarily like a head cast, like a casted head, which would be a head cast. I think of like if it got stuck inside the head. What you can do on that situation is get yourself like a 0.9 millimeter drill bit or a 1 millimeter, and you would want to drill up into the head, like into the neck ball that broke off, correct? So don't go all the way through it, and you don't want to go drilling through the head. I mean, although I don't think you're going to be able to go like that far is if it's a Marvel Legend. So what you would do was drill into the ball, okay? And then you take a, like I said, use a 1 millimeter or 0.9. And then you can grab yourself an eye hook. preferably a 1mm or 1.2mm. I'm trying to grab it to show you. Oh my gosh. I need to let my fingernails grow out. So you would take this piece right here, correct? Okay, you're going to take this, you're going to drill it or screw it into that neck ball. Once you get a nice tight fit, because it should get up in there, then grab it with some pliers, and you should be able to pop it out, okay? Because obviously that ball is too big for the hole in the neck. So you are going to need to Dremel out the neck a little bit. And then after you've pulled this out, that hole should still be good. What I usually do is drill a hole all the way through the ball, the neck ball, after it's out, and then you straighten these pegs, these eye hooks. You can drill it down to where the screw's out the bottom, and then you can drill a hole into that neck hinge, and you can twist it in, twist that ball on, add some adhesive with on the screws and whatnot. I know that's a lot to take in right now, but if you look at my Mezco Popeye repair, there's a tutorial on a Mezco Popeye repair, and it's basically, it's similar. I think it might be a hip. Sorry, maybe look for the Mezco elbow repair or a Marvel Legends ankle repair. Any of those are basically the same thing, because it's basically, you put a so is it a similar process like when you fix a shoulder peg? Yes it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely, because you want to make sure that when you do drill into that neck hinge, that after you pull the screw out, make sure you move the neck hinge wherever the hole was. So just in case you went too far in, whenever you do screw that in, it's not going to lock the neck up. You don't want that to happen, just in case the holes line up. So you want to make sure it doesn't line up. But yeah, it's essentially that. So yeah, if you were to look up my my Marvel Legends ankle repairs, it's essentially going to be the same. Just the only thing is, I don't tell you how to remove the piece. Like I said, drill up into that neck peg that's stuck in the head, and you should be able to screw that in. And I wouldn't be surprised if once you start screwing it in, if the ball starts spinning, then it's not in there really tight. If it doesn't, you still can probably grab it out. Like I said, grab it with some pliers, hold on to that head, pop it out. It should get you where you need to be. I hope that helps. I hope that wasn't too confusing. You said gotcha, so you're a smart guy. If not, follow those tutorials, man. I love when people use them. That's why they're there. Thank you for the question. So now I'm going to see, I wonder if I could pop this in or if I'm going to have to heat it up. It'd be really cool if you could just pop these arms on and off since they're skeletons. Client didn't ask for that, so I'm not going to do that, but okay. So we are going to have to heat up this arm. I just want to see, we're obviously not going to get all 4 of these done tonight. But I'd like to get one figure at least in working order. So a lot of these are going to be busy work. I'll probably do these in chats. There's a Toy Mechanics Discord if you guys aren't familiar with that, or if you are familiar with that, thank you for joining. There's a chat that we have in there. I get on there often, and we just shoot the breeze, and sometimes I'll be in here. I'm still organizing my room behind me. I'll get on there and I'll do repairs. We'll talk and whatnot, and just have a good time really in there. I'm on there a lot because I'm always working, feels like. Let's see. All right, we want to be really careful whenever we do this. When we do this. This is looking, I want to make sure this is smooth before we go all the way in. Let's sand down this just a tad bit more. Okay, so next we're going to heat up the shoulder. And then, oh, plunderlings! Ricky! It's been a long time. Ugh. I always get nervous when I don't hear from you. I'm like, where'd he go? Did he leave? Did he just leave the face of the map? He's gone. All right, so we're going to heat up this arm. Like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot. This plastic's really thin, and you don't want to mess up these clavicle bones over here. Heating these clavicles up could could warp them because of the heat. All right, so what should happen here is we're going to pop this in. Went in exactly the way we want it to. And we're going to let it cool. We want to let it cool first, because here's what can really be deceiving is a lot of times whenever you are repairing a figure like this, you heat it up, you put the peg in, and it feels good, right? It feels good. But then it contracts a little bit because of the hardening process. Then that peg might not move as smoothly as it, and it might be locked, and you might go to grab it, you think everything's cool, and it snaps. Suck. Not fun. Let's see. What'd you say? Oh, my man Rocker Josh is here. Man, I just need a little button. Alexa, play a bending guitar note.
Abandoned by Rod Wave on Amazon.
Alexa,
Music.
stop. Try Josh. Bill, if you had to go work for an action figure company, who would it be? Plunderlings? Alexa, stop. Oh man, if the Plunderlings would have me, yep, that would be the most fun ever. No, Ricky, you didn't worry. You just worried me. I'm just a worrier. Nobody else. Well, that sounds terrible. Nobody was worried about you, Ricky. No, man. It's just I don't know. It's crazy because we're like all in on this. I know you've got to be so busy right now getting everything in order, so we just want you to know we're always thinking about you. No, Plunderlings. He said he'll leave so I can answer the question. Plunderlings would be the most. I think Plunderlings would be the most fun. I mean, I actually, and it's not because they're in here. It's also because I've gotten to know Ricky so well that I think we would work very well together. Yeah, that'd be fun. I would rather work for a smaller, if I was to work for, but I was like, I don't know why. Sorry, Andrew. I don't know why a toy company would ever want to hire me. It doesn't really make sense because I just fix their toys. You know what I mean? Like I just happen to fix things that break. I don't think there's anything new I could bring to the table as far as like, you know, like if it's, let's say I went to McFarlane and I'd be like, hey, you should be doing thigh swivels. He'd be like, cool, you're fired. Like, all right. I don't know. I could probably help them with QC a little bit, but maybe. I don't know. Oh, weird. This one broke in the opposite way. This one broke. This one that we're working with now broke the so the hole is actually the one that's not broke. These are actually easier to fix slightly because whenever you drill in, you don't have to worry about going through the hole and doing all that extra Dremel work. So these actually can be slightly quicker. I think I could bring a lot of ideas to the table. I do work in I have a creative profession. That's what I make my living off of. So that would be neat. I do graphic design. I do motion graphic work. I do video editing and all that stuff. I'm actually the head of the media department now, which is cool. So after 14 years, actually, coming in next Tuesday, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday. So 8 days I will have been at my company 14 years. Isn't that amazing? Time sure does fly. It's really wild. All right, so we're going to go through this whole process again. Oh, man. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see. I have something really cool planned, actually, for my Plunderlings. I've been working with a friend on a special project that I think is going to be really, really cool. And then I've got another idea for Maru. Obviously, like all my work will be going into Maru. And then once Tinker arrives, we'll see what happens with Tinker. Oh God, I think I bought 2 Tinkers. And I thought about getting another one after on Big Bad, which would have been foolish. Man, I'm so excited, man. I went all in. This was so cool to be able to go all in on the Plunderlings this time around. Um, I think whenever you just believe in a toy company and what they stand for and what they do, and it was like the other day. I don't know if any of you guys are Dead Space fans, like the old amazing video game, um, but the company that created that game with EA, of course, they were called Visceral Games, and they're amazing. They made an amazing game, the best horror game in my opinion ever made, and just because it's scary and it plays well and it's a good story and fun. And then obviously, if you played them all, it turned into like the Resident Evil films, even the games, I guess. Whenever they started getting too wild and crazy, um, and so it lost its way. Visceral Games was shut down. Well, the other day they showed off a game called Callisto Protocol, and I was watching it and I was starting to get a little pissed off because I was like, these guys ripped off Dead Space. I was like, this looks like a next gen Dead Space. Everything about it. Come to find out, the guys at Visceral started their own company and are making this unapologetic like precursor or whatever you want to call it. This homage to Dead Space, and it's just so obvious. And I'm so happy that EA has nothing to do with them. EA is remaking the first game, so I will probably buy that. But dude, the company that made the original Dead Space, those guys, a lot of those guys got together, made their own company, and have a new horror game coming out, and it looks terrifying. So good for them. I like supporting stuff like that. I like it whenever the good guys come out ahead, especially the little guys, you know. Anyways, get off my soapbox. Fix the toys, right? So this time I didn't use a guide. Um, and since we already went through it once and we're looking pretty good, this is off to the side like we want it. I do not want this centered, so don't be tripping. I made sure that did not go centered. Yes, Jack Fresco, thank you. Absolutely. What sucks though is, man, that they're remaking the original Dead Space, and like I want to play that again. I love Isaac Clarke as well, but EA's just really gross. So who knows? We'll see what this new guy was. It was really funny to me too because I noticed like I remember in the old Dead Space games like you could stomp on the enemies and just like it was really gross. And this one he's punching with his gun on the ground. I was like, they showed off everything that they wanted you to see to be like, look what we did. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm super hyped. And I think that's really cool that they're doing that. All right. So, anyways, if you were looking there just a second ago, I've successfully created the same effect this time without using a guide, which because I was familiar with where this was going to go and whatnot. So we're going to put the screw in. And so for this one, though, we can actually go in a little further if we want. Because we don't have the hole to deal with. And what I mean by that is, this is what the first one we fixed was on this piece. So whenever we drilled in, you know, we drilled here, and so we had to kind of cut some of that down and whatnot. Well, this time, we're drilling in here. So there's no open space. There's no dead space. We're going to drill all the way through. Well, not all the way through, but pretty far in. We could drill. I mean, you can go all the way down to the peg if you wanted to. But we're going to drill in enough to insert this, which means this one's going to give us about twice as much to go on. We won't have to sand off the tip of it, so we can actually keep that on. So that'll be cool. Oh, guys, I don't know if any of y'all play or if any of y'all are on PlayStation. I'm on PS5 and Switch, but this Thursday, oh my God, it's so close, dude. It's 3 days away. Shredder's Revenge is dropping on Thursday for all the systems. 6-player, online and offline, co-op Ninja Turtles. All four brothers, Splinter, April, Casey Jones. Who knows what else is about to be revealed? I don't even know what else. And the original voice actor, all the original voice actors from the 80s cartoon, minus Uncle Phil, rest in peace. Turtles, these turtles. I loved it. That old voice. He's like always sounded like he was straining so hard. Like Shredder was like one of the most stressed out villains I've ever heard. Like Krang, and Krang's all, I don't know what to do, Saki. I'm like, dude, that's what you have to deal with all day long. I'd be stressed out too. You know what I mean? Like, god dang, dealing with a brain. Anyways, that comes out on Thursday, y'all, and your boy is hyped. Your boy is hyped. Hyped. I'm gonna get my Donatello on all day long. Oh, I'm freaking excited. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Can you tell I'm excited? We're gonna go ahead and drill a hole through this guy here. This is kind of weird, so we have to kind of hold this a little differently than the other one. I'll try to get as close as I can here. I don't know, you guys probably can't see it. Can't really get a solid hold. I think I might have drilled all the way through. I did, but it doesn't matter. You won't see it. So yeah, we can, since we drilled our hole, and like I said, I was literally able to go all the way through, so there's proof. Comes out on the other side. And you can take your screw. You could put it where you screwed it in. If you guys are on PlayStation, I am at Bill Maru. Just Bill Maru. Feel free to add me on there. Put a message on there though, so I know who you are at least. If you are going to add me on PlayStation Network, so I don't think you're some weirdo. Don't need that. All right, here we go. Dave Wonder, my man. Dave Wonder's about to go live in a little over half an hour, about 36 minutes, 9 o'clock. I always try to make sure everybody's going to leave this and go see him because he's always got fun stuff to talk about. And he really likes to pay attention to the people in his chat. Something I'm terrible at. All those 5Ks look beautiful. What are you talking about? Explain yourself so I don't feel stupid. I don't know what 5Ks is. 5,000s. All those 5,000s. 5Ks. Explain yourself, Dave. Oh, just kind of going back through the chat here. 5K turtle figures. Stream's over. What? Man, Soul Brother, don't be giving away my secrets, dude. I don't need people coming over and robbing my house because they want to steal my PS10. I got a dog that'll bite the shit out of you. I got 2 of them, so. Oh, 5. Dude, Dave, sorry, derp. Derp. 5K turtles. Yep. Like I said, sorry. Well, not thinking. Did they show all of them? I remember seeing Donnie, which I'm hella hyped for. Can't wait for that. No, Dave, I was talking about Shredder's Revenge drops this Thursday. And I'm super hyped for it, but I'm also incredibly hyped for those 5K turtles. So Did they show off the other brothers? That's exciting. I saw that there was a better look at Donnie the other day, and I'm just over the moon, dude. He's gonna be he's just gonna be awesome. He's gonna be really awesome. I'm excited to see what they do with the other ones. I'm really happy with what they did with Leo. I love the way Donnie looks. He looks fantastic. I do believe all the pieces that are on them are removable as well. So that's really incredible. I think those are going to be phenomenal turtles. Those are going to be hard to beat. The only thing that got me was I noticed that they didn't have like double elbows, and I was like, here was another chance to give us really good articulated. But either way, that'd be cool. Oh, Dave, dude. Splinter got teased? Oh my god, are you serious? Oh my god. I mean, Dave, if you could, man, could you link in our Instagram on that? I bet you already did, didn't you? Oh, I love our Lupin talks. Are they in here? It's just Jackie Chan dressed as Chun-Li. This chat, I swear to God. I would love to see them. Man, you let me know and we will stream it up. I cannot wait. Like I said, I'm on PlayStation though, so. Oh, Billy, quick question. Tips for custom magnetizing. The 3 Jokers line of Jokers have bladed left hands, and I want to cleanly magnetize them to hold things. Suggestions. Bladed left hands? Like, what? I want to cleanly magnetize them to hold things. So you want... I'm trying to figure out what you're wanting to do here. You're wanting the hands magnetized? It says 3 bladed left hands. I'm trying to figure out what that means. That means that they have a, like, are they T1000? Like they have a freaking blade hand? What's happening right now? When did Joker get a blade hand? You have to explain yourself, Andrew. I feel like I'm just like not understanding anything right now. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on the chat and do this repair. That's why I'm so bad at doing this. That's why I can't really sing and play an instrument at the same time, because I don't have that kind of brain functionality. Although this is a perfect repair, so I got that. Boom. Yeah. Wonderful. This looks amazing. We'll do our same little thing here. Let's go ahead and get our end clippers. We're going to grab it here. Put it inside our bag. 1, 2, 3. I think I grabbed both pieces on that one. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Little jerk. Got it. Open palm. Point with all fingers and thumb. That's the hand shape. Oh! The 3 Jokers line have bladed left hands. Point with all fingers. Open palm. Point with all fingers and thumb. That's the... You're going to have to message me, Andrew. I don't think... Oh, bladed hand. You mean splayed? A splayed hand? Gotcha. Point with off. Got it. I was doing it. You described it perfectly. I think that's called splayed hands, but I could be wrong. Let's sand this down real quick. Now, if you notice that piece just went flying off of there, that's why you wear your goggles. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Dremel 4000 to make quick work of this thing. Well, I wasn't holding on to the piece tight enough. There we go. I got it. All right, take two. It's a really small piece. Looks like there's a big chunk hanging off. I think whenever I clipped it, a piece of the, like both ends of the circle piece of the eye hook got clipped, and this just didn't take enough of the screw off. There we go. All right. Okay, so once again, we're going to sand this down a little bit. It worked really well with our last one. I think this one's going to be even... These are always a better hold, though, like I said, because you don't have to use so little real estate. Because you can drill all the way through them, and it's a little easier on you. It'd be nice if they all broke like this, because this would make it a lot easier to fix. Let's double check where we are here to make sure there's no bumps. There might be a little bit of a bump right there. So sometimes what will happen is you'll drill in, and if you got really close to the edge like I did, what happens is the screw can protrude out of the plastic. And what I mean by that is, let's see if I can set this right here and you can see it. That's about as good as I think it's going to get. Let's see. So you can see this little white section right here, this little white part right there. That right there is threading. So that's the screw kind of trying to protrude through the plastic. So in other words, it's a mistake. What happens is a mistake. So what you do is you take, you can take that drill, that little sanding bit, and you want to press it down right there, basically. And we're going to sand that down just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. It might not even be a problem right now, but I just personally like to make sure that it's going to fit whenever we close it, because then I don't have to try to re-pop the thing off again. So I guess I can show you what I'm doing. That would help. Just kind of going in like so. You want to make sure that there's enough room right here, and it'll flatten it out a little bit, which it did. The screw isn't really protruding. It was just pushing that plastic up a little bit, and it was just enough to probably create a little gap that I don't want. There we go. That should be good. Andrew, so you were saying that they have the splayed hands, and I want to cleanly magnetize them to hold things. So if you have a hand open like that, you want it to hold things. I'm not sure exactly how you would go about magnetizing a splayed hand. The only thing I could think of is if you ran wire through each finger and then had a magnet in your weapons or whatever they were holding. Or you know what I mean? Like, unless you want something to be stuck to the palm of the hand, maybe you could put like Dremel it carefully, put a magnet in it. Then you'd have to like sculpt over and paint. I mean, it's doable. Anything's possible. It's just, do you want to put in the work for that? You might even be able to find different hands that work better. Just an idea. I'm sorry, I'm not much help on that front right there. That's more of a, it's a clever idea. I do like that, but I don't know if it's my avenue or not. So we've popped this back on. And it works like a charm. You can't even see like this, the hole where we drilled all the way through, which it won't matter. It's going to be plugged into the arm in a minute anyways. And I'm trying to remember to make sure if on the other one you want to match up how you put these back in. I believe so last time, how does that work? Last time the piece that broke off was inside of here, but I thought so it was the same thing on this one. Huh. Sorry, I'm kind of like talking to myself. I'm trying to figure out what happened here. Okay, I think we're good. I don't. It actually, since both pieces are the same, it's not even going to matter which piece goes into which end here. So I think we'll just let's see. See what's going to make the most sense. I want to make sure I can hide this, like the hole that we drilled all the way through. I'd like to have that hidden as much as possible, which I think is going to do. I guess it doesn't really matter because the whole thing can spin around. Let's see. So the peg hole's facing the back. This peg hole will be facing the back here. Peg hole's facing the back here. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll put the piece that broke off back in the arm where it came from. We'll see what happens. So we're gonna go ahead and heat this up. And earlier we dremeled through it, so it should be good to go. The clavicle starts moving, you know it's heated up good enough. So let's go ahead and take this. Oof, careful, this is really heated up. All right. Got it in there. Just make sure that these little clavicle pieces aren't trying to lift on me. I want to send this back all messed up. There we go. And we're going to take our arm. This arm here. We're going to heat this guy up too. Shouldn't take but a second. It's very thin plastic. All right. Let's bring it around town. And we're going to go ahead and pop that on. Give a simple twist. Checking out our previous work. Feels pretty good. It feels snug, and I think it's going to hold. A lot of times what you can do is you can kind of move it, and if you can see the peg, if you can see the peg moving with the, you know, the ball joint, you're good. On my leg, though, I noticed my leg feels a little loose. I was really happy with it a minute ago, but it's still really loose when it goes down towards this weird gap. This is just going to be one of those things that I think takes just a couple more jobs. Maybe I'll try the JB weld on the leg here. We were using the the gel control earlier, and I was liking where that was going, but I don't know, for some reason this guy's just being kind of difficult. Now you are putting PVC glue on PVC on PVC, you know what I mean? So let's pop this in, swivel once, swivel twice, pop out. Like I said, I don't trust these. Like they're just the plastic's way too thin, and I just don't trust it. So I don't want that to happen. I want to say what we'll do next is we'll Dremel out. I don't know if I Dremeled out this leg earlier or not. I don't think I did. I think we only did the one. Okay, so I want to magnetize the fish to his open hand. Tiny magnet in the fish, but the tiny hand. And I want to magnetize the head of his cane to his palm on the other. Yeah, so you can... Here's the problem you're running into, man. The smaller the magnet, the harder it is to get them to connect. These right here are some rare earth magnets, and these are some of the strongest magnets I've ever found. However, the size is kind of an issue. They're thick. These work amazing for like popping heads on and whatnot. But then I ended up with, hang tight, see if I can find them here. There's like stuff like these here. Here's some other magnets, and these are better. But I ended up with some small ones before, and they couldn't hold anything. Like maybe they'd hold a photo to the fridge, maybe. But like these right here, these are pretty good, but they're huge. They're thinner. These are way thinner, but they're freaking huge. These would be way too big for what you're wanting to do too. So the problem you run into is trying to find the right size, but also the right strength of magnets. So when it comes down to that, I guess you're just gonna have to experiment with some different sizes. I think you could definitely do it. And also, whenever you are doing it, make sure that the polarity is right so that you don't accidentally have them, you know, detracting from each other. I've seen people do that before. In fact, I did that once on that Iron Man I was fixing for Luca. Oh, God, I couldn't believe that. I was like, after all that work, and it was like, went to press it, I was like, I'm like, no. I was like, no. If anybody knows about magnet problems, it's Ricky from Plunderlings. That poor guy. Oof. That's a lot of magnets, guys. Magnets can be really fun. They can also be awful for us. Okay, so let's see here what we got. All right. It's super weird, man. Like, no matter what you do, when you get back around to the front here on these are just poorly made. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. Yeah, and once again, there's the offset ball pegs. Oh, man, that sucks. That sucks. Oh, there you go, Koopa Steve. Koopa Steve, if you could, do you think you could link where you got those in the chat? That would be really cool, because I'd like to get some of those as well. I have not found, like, I was looking for smaller ones that I could use to like do some stuff with, and I just couldn't find the right strength. And for me, it was like, I'm on Amazon or I'm on eBay, and you wait, you get them in, you test them out, they don't work, and you either got to pay to send them back sometimes, or, you know, it'd be nice to have somebody that actually knows that they got some good ones. Because it sounds like that's exactly what Andrew's looking for. But, again, if you're trying to magnetize a hand, you're going to want that inside of it. So you're going to either have to put it on the palm, in the palm, and then sculpt over a very, very, very thin amount of sculpt so it can actually grab them. Or, like I said, I don't know, it's up to you. Because a lot of times, like, you can save yourself a magnet Like what I used to do for heads, if I wanted to do multiple heads, I would put a something metal in the neck, and then like a screw that would come out, so it would attach to the neck, like a flathead or a rounded one even. And then you put the you put the magnet on the neck, and then screws in all of the heads. That way, you're not using four magnets. You're only using one magnet and a bunch of screws, which screws are way cheaper than magnets. So, just my advice. But I'm not sure. I'd have to. Gosh, I know it can be done. It's just having to sit down, and you're gonna have to like work. Owen Herman says they have pretty good sized ones for miniatures. Anywhere that they sell Warhammer 40K stuff, they probably got some. Interesting. I didn't know that. So there you go. Koopa Steve said, I'll double check. I think I got the same ones you got, but I got off Amazon. Yeah, mine are big, way bigger. I'd like some thinner ones personally, because these are really good. They're really strong, but it's just unfortunately they're just too big, so I can't do much with them. Like if I was working with a different like 1/6 scale, they'd be amazing. They'd be amazing. Oops, I want a leg. So let's see if we can put some glue on this leg here, because it's still. We still need to add a little bit of extra here. So it looks like I'm gonna have to end up doing this to every single one of them. It's like you gotta sand out the cavity a little bit. Although I've been sanding out the cavity, and I'm wondering if all I have to do is actually sand down this ball peg here, and then pop it in with the glue, move it around, and that might be it. So I'm gonna try that probably with the next one to see. There we go. You just want a nice clean, and why I do that is I wiggled that thing all the way around to make sure it's going to get a nice even coat on the inside and then pop out real fast, so it's not going to sit there and leave any uneven stuff. It actually tends to help, so we'll see. Earbud magnets, maybe. It's worth a shot. I have no idea. That's a good question. I'm going to go ahead and I guess we'll go ahead and get the prep work started on this guy here. So this guy's pretty much done here. We got his arms done. His arms are good. The legs, unfortunately, are going to take a little bit more time due to the drying of super glue. That's a lot of times whenever I have to do like sessions, super glue sessions. So you sit there and you gotta, sit there and let it dry and then test it again, and then let it dry and then test it again, let it dry, and you get the idea. So that can be a real time suck. If you've got multiple jobs, then cool. It's another one of those things where you can't really, if it's one of the things where you actually have to keep the joint in and move it around where it's tightening, then oh my gosh, that can be a real pain. Takes a lot of time. I'm gonna go ahead and heat this up and pop this piece out like we did before. Probably use our tiny screwdriver, I'm imagining. Go ahead and see. I don't know if that was enough time to heat this up or not. Oh, I think it was. Boom. All right, so that is for our left arm. So we'll keep that peg with the left arm. You always want to try to keep the pegs together if you can. Even though they all do seem to break off at the same spot, it's nice to have the same angles on your pieces that broke off, so they can hopefully fit back closer together. This puppy's already heated up, so that's good. Oh my gosh, come on now. God dang. Jeez. It was really in there. Yeah, you gotta be really careful with these things. You can really just smoosh them while they're drying, and then, well, but what you can also do though is if you say you're working with one of these and all of a sudden you were holding it too tight and you move the ribs around or whatever and they're like splayed out or something like that, you can just hit it with a heat gun or a hair dryer, or even put them in hot water for a bit, and they'll reform. And then if you just leave them alone, It should stay that way. If for some reason you had a clavicle, one of these clavicle pieces pop out too far, you can always heat it back up. Chances are it's going to fall back down. If not, you can heat it up, press it down lightly, and run it under cold water, and that will solidify it in the original position or wherever you're holding it. So if you ever wanted to take a hand, like a hand that's kind of open like this with a gun trigger maybe, and it's like just not holding onto the gun well, you can actually heat that hand up, tighten it, and then run cold water under it, and it'll keep that hand tighter, and then you can, put your gun back in it. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty nifty tip, really. Learned that one a long time ago, and it's done a lot for me. Let's go ahead and pop these shoulder pieces out, and I think we'll call it a night. That should be good. I'm gonna grab it from here, I guess, and just pop one, pop two. Flew all the way over here. All right, let's see what we got here. We can go ahead and see where they cracked. Let's see where they broke. Good side or bad side? I'm actually very interested to see where they all broke in the same, like near the same. So, oh, cool. This one broke on the one we want. This one broke on the peg side. That's really good. I might need to bend this one down a little bit. Looks like it broke bent in a funny spot. Super weird. It's like these are malleable pieces or something. Okay, and this one broke on the peg side too. Cool. So we only had one break on the like the whole side. I would say the open side, and the rest of them broke on the closed side. That's awesome. That's really good. We only had I just so happened to fix the one tonight that was the hardest one first, of course. Yeah, whenever they break with the holes, you run into all that the issue of drilling through the hole and whatnot, and that always kind of sucks. So we got 6 minutes left, so I guess I can either start drilling on these, or we can wrap up or whatnot. So I think it was a pretty good night. Cool. Don't forget, guys, that Dave Wonder is going to be coming up here at 9 o'clock, so go check his channel out. He's a fun dude. He's always got interesting stuff to talk about. He's very current on news, obviously. Like, we're big turtle fans, and he knew about those other turtles that I didn't know about. So thank you, Dave. Appreciate you. Always appreciate Dave Wonder. He's on like Monday through Wednesday. He's a freaking machine. He's about to have his second baby, so I don't know how he does it. It's just amazing to me. But yeah, I wanted to. Oh, Koopa Steve did say, okay, found it in my box of junk. Ironically, it's magnets for Warhammer. Here's the link. We'll also drop it on the Discord. Oh yeah, while I'm thinking about it, I wonder if I can see. Let me sign into the chat here. Open a web browser. Cool, man. Yeah, that's really cool. I'll oh, it looks like download. We got a Discord download. I was gonna, for those of you who are not in the Discord, I'll put a link down here in the deal, and I'll pin it to the top. Let's go ahead and do that now while I'm thinking about it. Invite people. Edit invite link. Expires after never. And generate new link. Copy. Awesome. put it right here. Bow. There you go. Cool. Pin to the top. Message pinned. We got them. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night tonight. Like I said, Dave Wonder's about to be on at 9 o'clock, so go check him out if you haven't already. If you have checked him out, then keep checking him out. He's a great guy to support. He's a good guy, genuine guy. But I want to thank all of y'all mainly because thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being here every Monday with me, supporting me, and yeah. Remember, take care of yourselves out there. Take care of each other. And as we've noticed tonight, the impossible takes just a little bit longer. I love you guys. Take care. See you over there at Dave's channel.